And we are off.
Already got some divergence. Got a small key in the sanctuary chest. So we got that. And Fouton is getting over here, checking the Hylia Island. We can actually get that right now if you want. We don't want.
$300. That's really nice for paying off the bottle fender, Kiki, and probably the rest of the Kakariko loop and all.
Yeah, and Fouton getting a bit bullied here by the blue guards. While he doesn't need the Hylia Island item, he can go from here, go over to the right side, go up here. Oh, he wants those bombs, so that was a nice auto walk. The other thing he could have done would have been an fake flipper to Hobo right from there.
I did not catch what was on Lumberjack Ledge, though.
I didn't catch this either. And as someone asked in chat, boots are free in this mode. Boots are really required for so many glitches that putting them behind big parts of the logic would not make really much fun. And apparently we have a heartbeat on Lumberjack.
So that's one use of Lumberjack Ledge, not necessary. Don't know about logic, if it's possible to get it earlier or something.
No, there is no way to clip into the Lumberjack. Chrouya using to spawn rocks always have a bomb the bomb spawn. Not often used in no glitches, but since we have boots, we can just get it. Fouton will not need to do that because he got the 3 bombs of the Hylia Island.
And we have Green Pendant Desert. That's really nice. And furthermore, Tower of Hera, normal pendant. Eastern is a normal crystal. So once we find the bow, we might see a Eastern dip.
I personally then hope that we get the bow in Kakariko, because then we might see one of the runners show off a nice little map drop directly into Eastern from Kakariko.
Oh, very nice finding a bottle inside of Kakariko, so we can quickly go check Sick Kid as well.
Yeah, and that makes even the last possibilities for Agawan kind of obsolete. You can use that bottle and put a blue potion in there and get even the Lumberjack, even the Pyramid Ledge item without anything else. But you still need boots to get up on this mountain though.
And we're buying bombs, so we can do the rest of the checks really easily.
Yeah, bombs can be sometimes for quite a long time be your only weapon. You usually hope for an ice sword because that sword will allow you to have some more leniency with some of the clips. It just makes the endpoints less stressful.
And Bottle Fender gave us half form payment back, so that's not really nice.
The library is also useless, so Kakariko so far not really paying off. Ooh, a nice book, and I think we might see at least Fouton do a little clip, and Chrouya is thinking about it, and he's a bit too high on the bumper.
Would we dare to say that this book is French vanilla, so close to its vanilla location?
I guess you could say that, and at this point, Chrouya should just go do the race game normally if he really wants a book. And to be honest, I would want the book before I go to desert, just so I can shake the Bombos tablet once I'm done.
Yeah, you can do Desert Palace without the book. At least that's what I know. And furthermore, with the book you can just... That was so much faster from Fouton.
Yeah, Fouton was the one that pretty much found the clip, found or refound the clip recently, so he should know the setup for that.
Oh,
and we get a shovel. And it's kinda on the way to check that.
Since we don't have a glove upgrade or a light source, we can't fully clear desert, so we can just check the items.
Well, I don't know if it's in logic, but we would only need a 5 shows and a weapon to beat land rollers. We can easily get around the stones blocking the entrance to the boss part of the dungeon.
And this is why I don't commentate this on my own. Plus C, Uncle has not been checked yet, and we have an open start indeed.
Yeah, both players decided to forgo anything that is related with the castle. One player decided to go directly to Sanctuary, and the other player decided to check the Alia Island early.
First item out of desert, let's see. And that's the second one as well. Nice.
Yeah, maybe we might see someone check that powder quite early. You could actually check it with the, all the items you got right now.
And no Agina cave check just yet from Fouton.
I would guess that you will first check the Bombos tablet, then go to Agina, then go out, check the K45, then go or check Agina later, I guess. The red boomerang, and he picks it up. The red boomerang might lag sometimes, but at least it's a way to stun enemies. It's a way to grab items through in some cases.
And there was just 100 bucks in Agina's cave.
50 more for the shovel. Okay, well, I just wanted to ask what Fouton was doing. I would have guessed that he wanted to go to Batcave there, because This is the only thing in the area that was available to him.
So you can clip out of bounds on any diagonal wall?
All those diagonal walls that have a part below you, you can clip out of bounds with. On someone, like on this mountain, there are just railings. You can just clip through those without any problems, even if they are above you.
Oh, Fouton doesn't have any weapons for Mini Moldum Cave.
So I guess you will now do the fake flipper, because you can also get into the Ice Rod Cave. I hope he remembers. Without bombs.
Yeah, true. Or he's
Okay,
flipping.
I have no idea where is he going now.
Inside Ice Rod Cave.
Okay, I've never knew that from before. I need to copy that. Thanks, Fouton, for showing me. And a question in chat: Fake Flipper is in logic. Waterwalk isn't really in logic. You would need to have also get the Ultra to have the double waterwalk in logic.
And so far nothing from Mini Moldum. Yeah, only the blue boomerang from Mini Moldum Cave, so Fouton isn't really missing out on something from there.
But that's 5 items, and they will weigh on his mind for quite a long time, till he gets around to check that location again.
Yeah, it is something that will be on his mind the whole time.
Remembering he has boots, so he can just dash into the wall. I personally am not good at that part.
And Fouton's checking. No, he's grabbing bombs from the bomb shop.
Yeah, and it appears to me that Chrouya actually set up one of those nice waterworks. You're probably now fake flipper, or yep, you will just fake flipper from here and swim to Hobo, then activate the waterwork from Hobo and go from there. And he lost the fake flipper. And he lost the waterwork for jumping into the water.
And he gets it. Really nice. And it looks like Fouton is also going to fake Flipper, but not with the Waterwalk sword.
Yeah, as I said, the Waterwalk alone is not in logic. You would need the Moonfall or the Flippers to make the Waterfall Fairy into logic, even though you can obtain the items from there using just a Waterwalk. And Chrouya, you need to jump down the ledge. You can't go from the bottom part of that.
And Fouton probably forgetting he didn't set the Waterwalk.
So Chrouya will now go on and shake the Sajura, maybe go into Eastern. And Fouton is likely now going up that mountain, rescuing the old man, and then probably just checking a lot of stuff there.
I was just about to ask if it's possible without gloves, but then I thought, wait, he's mentioning it, so it's probably possible. And with all these clips that I've seen just already, it might just be anything's possible.
And we are now in Hera, as far as I know. Yes, Hera. Getting the big key early, so we don't need a fire source for the basement yet.
Unless we have that key item sitting there.
Well, we already got one item. Fouton is now going to beat up those guys just using the pots, or leaving instead.
He doesn't have any weapon, so he couldn't even kill Trolldorm if he wanted to.
Is that one of the coins?
I think that's a B.
Yes, one of the bees. We are now going to not see much on Fouton's side, so let's check with Chrouya in the Eastern. We just found the big key.
And we have, if I'm not mistaken, we found a map in that first chest, so we got all dungeon items from Eastern, and thus we only have items left.
And the old man giving her $20, not really thankful. I would have preferred this word, to be honest.
Can you cross that bridge where Fouton is at without hookshot?
We can cross the bridge, we just walk below it. And then jump back and bounce right at this edge and be over.
So it's a bootless hover or something.
Yeah. Alternatively, there's also a clip we can do on the screen where Hera is. to get over on the upper side of Death Mountain.
And we found half magic in the vanilla big key chest of Eastern on Chrouya's side. And there's our Moon Pearl. Bugnet, Moon Pearl, and nothing really else. Well, that's really handy.
Chrouya did a bit more usual Death Mountain Ascent, one that you would see most players go for. You just end up in the cave for the old man and directly can rescue him for the safe and quick point. To answer a question in chat, this is over glitches. We are allowed to glitch around, we are allowed to walk through some worlds. As long as we do it in the overworld, we can't do any major glitches in a dungeon. So some minor ones like a bunny dungeon revival might be required, but we are only allowed to do major glitches outside of dungeons and caves and houses and everything. I don't think Fouton checked the floating island yet, which I'm wondering right now. And he remembers that he has to check it.
That was just $20. And Chrouya is in the Tower of Hera right now.
Fouton's thinking about going into the Dark Woods, yeah. But I think he saves and crits first. And going to where now? I don't know. Oh, Castle, right, they didn't check that earlier.
And neither did Chrouya, so we're getting it first here.
A little nice thing you can do with this beetle room is in Hera. If you drop down one of the holes and go back up, the beetles you killed stay dead. And there's a fire rod on Fouton's side. So you would have a weapon. I don't think it will hurt the beetles though.
And we have our fire source, so we can ascend Tower of Hera, but not yet finish it, as we need either the hammer or the sword to finish off Moldorm.
Yeah, we would now be able to get all the items in Hera except for the boss. We could also now go on and finish Desert. And of course, Fouton is doing some bomb escape here because he doesn't have that much magic. And it seems like Chrouya is coming back for that book. He didn't pick it up earlier, he didn't remember the right inputs, and he's probably now just doing the race game.
And we have our mirror. I have no idea how much that opens up the game, but that opens a lot in vanilla logic.
Well, that mirror just opened up the Pyramid Fairy. And Chrouya also seems to go come over for the bed check. Hold on, you need to pick up the big key first.
And we have Kane. Escape is stacked.
And he is not going for the Darkseer chest. He has the small key from Sanctuary, so he could have gone directly to the back of Escape. It would not have been in logic because he doesn't have the glass though.
Is this an early Batcave from Chrouya?
He is definitely trying, but he's not lining up right. For the clip, Chrouya tried to get into the Batcave. You want to line yourself up with the fence below the tree and then just dash buffer to the left into the wall till you 1 pixel before you jump, and then do a dash up and hold right.
Pendant, Thieves Down, and red crystals in Palace of Darkness and Turtle Rock. That will be a late Pyramid Fairy check, and I don't think it could have something really useful.
You already forgot that I just mentioned that the mirror already unlocks the Pyramid Fairy.
Well, forget about anything I've said then.
And also, forget about Hammer, forget about Lars. We don't need to get into the lower dark world.
And Chrouya is on their way towards their mirror.
There was just a question in chat about the Death Mountain Descent and without Pearl in the Dark World. You can do it as long as you got the mirror. You got 3 different setups that you can do. One very old one where you would just go to the bridge and clip into it using the mirror. A mirror method that's somewhat inconsistent, but it's consistent as long as you do it right, and a screen wrap method that brings you directly in front of Sanctuary in the Dark World.
And Chrouya picked up his Cane of Samaria and is now heading onto the second part of the escape sequence. And we have our first ward on Bumper Edge.
Yeah, who needs a cape? We're just going to clip on here and got it.
Is there a reason Fouton is clipping instead of jumping down?
I guess he doesn't want to get attacked by Malodactyls. And we are heading towards our first completable crystal dungeon, Skullwoods.
And so long as Fouton hasn't yet checked Eastern Palace, he doesn't have the half magic, so he's a bit short on magic here. And doesn't want to use his cane, apparently.
I'm personally a bit worried about that. He could have gotten a big magic pot in the right side of that room we got the chest in right now. And Chrouya getting a bit attacked by the worst enemy in the game, boulders. They are literally the worst thing that can happen in Overworld glitches.
Are we gonna enter Ganon's Tower now on Chrouya's side?
No, he's going to place the mirror in a very specific position over here. Well, it's somewhat specific. You have some leniency. Go into the house of the old man to reset the camera. Then either die or do a desperate descent. Or use the flute if you won't have it. He just dies. Respawns at Link's house and can use the portal directly in front of the pyramid. And can, like that, that's the pyramid fairy right now.
So this bypassed a medallion, both of the rods, hookshot, Titansmith's hammer, and Moonpearl for him, with a sword.
Right, Turtle Rock requires a
Wow.
medallion. That's new in or just.
$20 on the pyramid. And Fouton's getting a bit low. One more hit and there he goes.
I think he still got his fairy. Yeah, he got it.
And he gets it. Nice. Finds the big key. Still has 2 items inside of Skullwoods to find.
But also getting his first crystal 34 minutes in. Chrouya is now trying again with the waterwork setup. And forgetting that there is a waterfall that he has to care about. There we got one item in Skywoods, just 20 rupees. Not really wanted. And get your hypes up in the chat, we are getting a pedestal check.
And it makes things go triple boom, so that's 3 bombs if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct, and that means we will never pull the pedestal on Fouton's side. And we are getting a Zora check from Chrouya. I don't think we saw that earlier. The sword Fouton found was on the bumper cave.
Which is just a ledge for us in this mode, apparently.
Chrouya just messed up a little clip that's easy to mess up. You need to do quite precise movements on the Z-pad while doing this clip, and if you are successful, you are able to get to the graveyard ledge. And we are now seeing a Batcave clip on Fouton's side. Really easy clip. Screen gets a bit wrecky, and we are out. Oh, just fall down, we jump out of the water, Fouton. And we are in. We are getting the jump down to the graveyard ledge, will get his lamp, and we have the second plane in Batcave. So we got boost canes. And it seems like Fouton is going into Thieftown. Thieftown is a pendant, so he might want to only check the first 4, and he gets the hammer immediately. That's the payoff. We still need the hammer for Ice Palace, and we still need the hammer for Palace of Darkness. And of course, Swamp Palace. We all know Swamp Palace first chest hammer is something we never want to experience. It appears to me that Chrouya is doing Death Mountain descent method. That's not really hard. He might do it for the descent, which would be the wrong play, or he would use it to go over to the other side, which would be the best thing he could do, and with that would be able to get his Moonpearl.
And it looks like he's soft locked.
Yeah, that wasn't really the right position. If you want to, that's more decent on that, you want to transition down far left on the left side. And Fouton is indeed going on through Fouton, so he doesn't care if it's a pendant or a crystal, he just wants the items.
I think Chrouya's trying to get in Death Mountain descend on Dark World.
Yeah, what Chrouya trying to do is get right at the corner in the Dark World, mirror, move 1 pixel to the right, let the mirror portal get you out, mirror again, walk to the right, and just hit the portal with 1 pixel, and I think he got it. If he got it, he can just jump down. I hope he remembers where he has to go down this time, and yes, he does. It's not the right way to go, but at least he doesn't waste more time on this clip.
And we have Blue Mail.
Yes, and I think we still are missing the compass, so if that's not in blind cell, Fouton will probably just mirror out at this point. Hey, why are you still going on? You know the palace is nothing. And he realizes. Ooh, I think I know what Fouton is trying to do here. I think he's trying to do the same clip he did for Batcave, just to hit the hammer packs and get Zeus down. That's actually in logic as well. You now just need to hit the packs without seeing that much. He isn't realizing that he is actually on the right side of the packs. I meant he's actually on the left side of the packs.
And all of that for just 10 arrows.
Yes, you could get out of that area by clipping to the right side, or you could just do another Death Mountain descent. In my opinion, the Death Mountain descent is a bit quicker. And Chrouya now actually wants to die here because, as Bunny, he can't do that much in this dungeon. But since he's dying, he's now Luigi.
And Fouton is in Ganon's Tower. I was gonna say Tower of Hera, but he's in Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, and that clip is pretty much the reason why there's no Ganon's Tower big key for this tournament. There's really no reason. Once we got the Pearl, we would have to start it because any runner could go any point in time go in there.
He found the flute for Misery Mire in Ganon's Tower. I'm still a bit amazed by that.
If I would tell you that he doesn't need the flute to reach Misery Mire, would you be rounded?
Okay, now I'm deflated. Thank you.
Yeah, and in fact you could just get into in the area of Misery Mire by clipping from the screen with the race room and the from clipping from the screen with the digging game. It's not that hard, you just need to know the stuff. And since it's currently a bit a thing that needs to be talked about, Chrouya is currently not anymore in the Dark World. The game actually thinks he's in the Light World, even though he is still in the Dark World dungeon. Once he goes out and leaves the screen, he will not anymore be in the Dark World. He will directly transition into the Light World.
And not having hookshot means though that he will do a bomb jump here.
Yeah, that means he will not find the hookshot here or any item that leads to the hookshot. The chassis checks after this room can lead him to the hookshot. Afterwards, it's again not possible to lead him to the hookshot.
And we're getting a pedestal check by Chrouya as well right now.
Definitely a good decision while you are already in the area. Fouton trying to line up the red boomerang. It's a bit harder if you don't know the setup. Yeah, but at least it's possible without the hookshot. Chrouya, meanwhile, is still frantically searching for the Moon Pearl, which is on the east side of Death Mountain.
And there's the GT Bicky. So whoever guessed after Skull Woods but before any other dungeon, you are correct. Congratulations.
Chrouya is now doing a little clip into desert here. Hopefully, yes, he's doing it. If you're a little bit off there, just one pixel off and you land in a rock and can't get out.
Is this or is this not a logic break?
I actually think this is in logic, but I'm not 100% sure. I would have to check with that. I would guess someone in chat would have the answer for that. Fouton trying to kill Bob and instead just deciding to release them. And now we are going to see the best thing in this entire game: armors without the bow. Fouton, please don't spin. Spins don't do damage against them. Well, they do damage, but really low damage. And Chrouya, meanwhile, picking up the green pendant in Desert Palace. He will probably now go over, check Sarashura, thinking that the Moonfrog must be there.
And Fouton is doing stabs with the sword instead of slashing or spinning, which is half damage of the normal attack.
Well, since he has only Fighter Sword, this doesn't change the damage test at all. He will still do damage test 1, which is better than damage test 2 on armors, because they didn't want you to do spins on them. And please, Fouton, watch out for your health. You are really, really low.
One hit and he's out. And there it is. I hate it. Oh, he has a fairy.
Oh yeah, he catched another fairy in the tide room. Right. How could we forget? We are just commentators. And finishing off the second to last armors with quite the aggressive threat, and now just holding off the sword, letting the armors just jump into it.
Silver arrows. Would have been handy to have those beforehand.
Well, I guess then you would also need the bow to shoot them, because the game doesn't let you stab with arrows.
That's true, but having not found the bow in GT means that it should be available before GT, I think.
I really hope Chrouya will remember the Turtle Rock climb soon, because the Turtle Rock climb is actually quite easy to execute. And will bring him over to the east side of this mountain, even though he isn't apparently aware of the other way to get down. In the meantime, I believe Fouton is now going to check the Current Ferry. Is he? I don't know where he is going right now.
Activating flute, I guess.
That's definitely a right time to do it. You'll probably then go over Flute 2-4 and go and check the Current Ferry. And Chrouya is indeed on the east side of this mountain. We'll find his moon pearl shortly.
And Fouton is not completely rightly in.
Yeah, you will just use a little trick that's while holding an object, you will not be able to trigger the warp through the portal, so he can walk a bit higher without any problems. And what Fouton just did there, he just walked out a few times, and that brought him right outside of the door, moving him a few pixels out every time. And yeah, that rock Fouton just was going around. In no glitches logic, you would have to have the glove to get around that. And he doesn't have the glove as shown by trying to picking up that one rock. And Fouton now is doing something quite crazy. He will jump a few times around the screen, nothing special there, and you will end up right at the bottom of the map. And we'll be able to go over to the Misery Mine area right here. And please cover your eyes if you are not able to withstand sunlight and stuff. Actually, that version of the Misery Mine wasn't that bad. Usually you really get LFG attacks of that Chrouya finally is able to get his sword. And Fouton just saw the Misery Maya medallion. It's Craig. We don't have that yet. Oh no, Mother Ductits just got Chrouya.
And Fouton will be finishing Desert Palace here.
Desert Palace is just a pendant, but it's a green pendant, so we might still want the item from here. And I think at this point, we now got all the information what we will need for our Go mode. We will need the flippers and the hook shot for Swamp Palace. We will need the bow for Eastern Palace, Palace of Darkness, and the Palace and the Gans Tower. And we will also need Quake and a single glove to beat Misery Maya. Misery Maya and Ice Palace. Oh, and of course, also still needing the Ice Rod for Turtle Rock. Chrouya picking up his flute, definitely not required, but still a nice item. Also, we can finally finish off Tower of Hera. Fouton and Chrouya both know that this dungeon completion is not required because the pedestal is just 3 bombs.
Just going to try and get those 2 items. But one of them could be on Moldorm, so probably will be fighting him.
Yeah, we got 1 item by now, and the one other thing that's missing right now is the second item and the map. One of those will be in the basement, the other thing will be on Land Modos. A little addition to something in chat. Fouton will not clear all dungeons. He already was in Seaton and beaten most of it, but he decided to not not beat blind because he knew it's not required.
And a nice Moldorm fight from Fouton. Leaving the pendant behind.
Yeah, knowing that the pedestal isn't worth it, you might as well skip the cutscene first. If I'm allowed to take a guess what's Fouton now doing, I would guess he's going towards Turtle Rock right now.
To check, like, he's, yeah, he doesn't have Titans, so he has to clip on.
Well, he could also just clip from Hera using the Turtle Rock climb for what it's called, from where it got its name. Actually, opening the front of Turtle Rock, other than the maybe up to change room, I don't really think he needs to be going through this way. And Chrouya finally making it through that really, really awful room that someone actually designed.
And a nice thinking from Fouton, realizing he doesn't have to hookshot and thus has to go all the long way around.
Definitely happens more often than you want it to happen, that you forget that you don't have hookshot and that you need to go this long way around. I would take the guess he's leaving now and go through the middle entrance directly down to the big chest. But first off, Super Bunny Cave is definitely a good choice. Chrouya, meanwhile, having the same awful fight as Fouton had earlier.
And there is the hookshot from Fouton in Super Bunny Cave.
There's actually a way to get into the hookshot cave right now, but that's not in logic. We still need a glove to have that in logic. Even though the clip for that is apparently really, really easy.
And he's inside.
Yeah, we just took the back entrance on the floating island in the Dark World. There's this little entrance that leads to the hookshot cave. And he just tried a little wave clip there by he can hookshot the ice rod. He can hookshot the skull from quite far away, even though it's actually on the other side of the rail.
That clip is very easy.
Yep, just get spin speed or hookshot speed and then walk into the edge. There's an even easier method to get to that ledge using the mirror. You just literally stand below the entrance to hookshot cave mirror, and yeah, you can pretty much line yourself up similar to what Chrouya did earlier with the bridge clip to get down off the mountain and can clip in like that.
And getting a key for a key.
Yes, now he's just going back to the change jump room. I personally hope he doesn't get bullied by them. I saw enough bullying of those change jumps for today.
So there are 5 more item locations left inside of Turtle Rock. And I don't know how many items or dungeon items have been found.
I think we've just found the 3rd item, should be.
We haven't found the map nor the compass yet, so we have 4 chests, 5 locations left, and 2 of which are dungeon items, at least. I think there's one more key, but I'm not sure.
I also believe there should be one more key. There are 4 keys in chests, and he was quite easily able to skip a few key doors since he didn't open up all the doors.
And he's opening the safety door. I don't know if it's used for safety in here, but...
Well, it's definitely used for safety at this point. You can use it as entrance into Turtle Rock, but for that you would not need to be in Turtle Rock already.
There's 2 of the 3 dungeon items that were left. Meanwhile, Chrouya just finished off Skullwoods.
Yeah, we are now at crystal parity, and we also got the same pendants on boost. Of course, Fouton is far more advanced in the overall siege. He will soon have his 2nd crystal from Turtle Rock.
And it's good to remember he did caught a fairy.
And also good to remember, he still has not been to Eastern, so he still has not the half magic. Hammer Trinix can be a really awful fight. Luckily, it's only 5 hits you have to do with each hammer.
And something we haven't talked about yet. Fouton found his first set of gloves from that first chest of the top chest of Laser Bridge. And there's our Master Sword.
Yeah, also finding the Master Sword, which also is required to be succeed. We will not be able to hurt Ganon with Fighter Sword. That's the same as in no glitches. So we are now 3 items away from Go mode. We are now just needing a bow, the Quake Medallion, and the flippers.
So there's no need for Titan Smiths?
Well, logically, yes, but we got our ways to get into ice players without them. Fouton is now going over and shaking the Waterfall Ferry and the Zoa area in general. We saw that earlier from Chrouya while he was searching for the Moon Pearl. There was just a question in chat about getting it in flipper state, in fake flipper state. In the vanilla game, you get soft lock if you get hit during fake flippers. In Randomizer, you get killed and can respawn wherever, just like if you got killed normally.
And Chrouya just now picked up his Bombos medallion.
And Fouton thinks about what he's going to do next. There isn't much left that's outside of dipping dungeons he can't really complete. But first, we are going to check the Hype Cave, or like I like to call it, the Scripted Cave.
And there's our bow. So we now need just 2 more items to get Go mode. The flippers and the Quake medallion.
Yeah, and together with that, we also got a single arrow, so we can actually fire it. Someone thought about that. There's our second bubble, This time it has some blue goo. We know another bottle is on the ether tablet, so probably not going to get that. A lot of dicks, and they're going to do it together.
And all of that for a shield.
Fouton just was one pixel off. That made him zip up, and he didn't have the right inputs there. You can actually do a downward teleport right at the... Oh, he wants to go up, so forget what I just wanted to say. That didn't apply here. Also, cover your eyes for a Chrouya screen. I'm sorry, I didn't realize it at first. But fortunately, Chrouya's screen will be fixed once he's going out here. And I have no idea what Fouton just did there. Looked very weird to me.
I think that might be blacksmith, but I'm not too sure.
Ah, really looks like blacksmith. Looks like he's going to... Don't know. Oh, he's going to go up here, grab a bush again, like he did for the Pyramid Fairy, and is able to put himself in the position he needs to be.
Those are a lot of mirror bonks.
I'm personally not that familiar with the thing Fouton is doing right now, so I can't that much tell what he's doing wrong or if he's doing even something wrong. But what I can tell is Chrouya just had a little mistake and ended up in a wall. That can happen a lot if you are doing mistakes. And doing mistakes is quite easy in this in here.
Is this a spy cave check from Chrouya? No, it is not.
Chrouya just dash buffer into this wall, and once he's stopping, he needs to do the same as usually, do a few inputs and is now on Ganon's tower. He will probably do the left side now using bomb jumps.
And Fouton is in Desert Palace. uh, Palace of Darkness. Has the bow, has the hammer, so from what, if I remember correctly, it's completely beatable.
It's completely beatable, and we got even a lamp, so even the dark rooms are in the logic. Chrouya, meanwhile, trying to be on the highest pixel up here. You really need to be on the last pixel. If you are too low, you will not make the jump. And Fouton meanwhile forgetting that he needs a small key for that door.
He didn't get a small key from the bridge chest, so he didn't have the one he needed for here.
This also means there's only one item left, but one possible item or dungeon item left between the two chests on the right side and the vanilla big key chest. And Chrouya, you don't need to bomb jump that. You can just bonk on the left side there. Fouton tried to avoid the shield earlier at Digging Game. Now it came back to him in the Palace of Darkness. This also means that the vanilla big key chest will have a small key. There's no getting around that.
Fouton setting up the bomb jump here, the hammer jump. And gets it first try, really nice.
And really didn't use that many side buffers there. I personally would have probably set that about 5 minutes just pause buffering. Chrouya is currently setting up a mirror up, a very easy trick. If you know how to set it up, he's just entered the back entrance of Turtle Rock. He needs to bomb himself out here because otherwise he would not be able to get out there.
And Chrouya will get his glove upgrade here. Wait, are gloves completely obsolete in this logic?
No, we still need it for some dungeons, including ice. Well, I think only Ice Palace really requires them.
So we need Titans, Flippers, and Quake.
What are Titan Smiths? You just saw a little trick from Chrouya that can be altered in some form to enter Ice Palace from the area of Swamp.
And Fouton grabbing his third crystal. Checks, the bow is in Hype Cave. Fouton will be on his way to grab up the half magic in the vanilla Bicky chest.
Yeah, but it's a bit late with now the most magic consuming bosses already dead. It will not help that much outside of Ice Palace, I would say. In the meantime, Chrouya, thanks to the trick Chrouya used to get into Turtle Rock, he was able to check all chests in Turtle Rock with just 2 small keys. And once Chrouya grabs the 2 chests right here, he can just take out the mirror and he will be back at Ladle Bridge without any problems. Chrouya, for what are you going back right now? And to be honest, if he wouldn't... Oh, he doesn't have the ice rod. He didn't check, what's it called, the Hookshot Cave before this.
And he didn't check Super Bunny either, because he doesn't have the hand hook shot from there.
That is definitely really unfortunate. If he would have been able to check that before, he would have just been able to directly go to the boss and beat this dungeon. This is just unfortunate for him.
And we are getting a check from Fouton, which we haven't seen yet.
Oh, we did see that earlier. Chrouya did walk through the entirety of the escape sequence.
Oh, sorry, then I missed that.
Getting annoyed by that red desire to die. It seems like Chrouya will soon get his bow. This will lead him towards Palace of Darkness and Eastern Palace. Unfortunately, not 100% the right direction, and as I'm talking, Chrouya proves me wrong. Yes, we checked Spike Cave, and I think it was... I'm not 100% sure. I think it was a bomb upgrade or bombs.
Fouton is going to clear off Cannon's tower.
And now Chrouya is going to get his bow with his single arrow to fire it. I'm currently trying to think about what's still in logic, except the top of Ganon's tower, and I'm not really sure about anything. So whatever they get as progression, it should be at the top here.
For me, as a non-Overworld glitches player, that sounds really weird and not natural. Like, you do the end of the game to get something that you had to use earlier, according to the standard game.
And a thing we should note is, even though they can now clear the Agar Tower, they will not be able to hurt Ganon until they got all 7 crystals. Getting the third bottle, with that we know where all bottles are. The last bottle that's not picked up is on the ether tablet.
So if we want progression, it has to be in the coming chest for Fouton, right?
That's all I can think of for stuff that's in logic.
Normally the very last chest, and it has Titans. That means we're going to Ice Palace next, right?
Probably. The Ice Palace is a crystal, so that we'll have to complete it no matter what. So the other thing that those Titan Smiths unlocked were the Smith chain. That's actually now logic. Fouton tried to clip into them using a YBA earlier, but it didn't really work out.
That might have been a single hit for Fouton, as they might have hit at the same frame.
Surprise! Agnew was actually a bad. That's actually Ganon. That's the story of the game.
Oh yeah, that's right, we have Blacksmith Chain open. I think. I'm not too sure on the logic.
Well, the logic will allow you to do everything that's possible in no logic, so all the things that you are used to are still in there. We are just added a few more stuff that's in logic using the glitches.
I'm just thinking, we have Titans, so we can do the Smith sequence anywho now.
The first chest is just being a compass, not really what we were looking for.
And Fouton gets hit by the bomb and thus gets back out of the pegs.
That trick is much easier to screw up than you might think. It's really easy to screw up if you don't do it like 5 million times a day or something. I always screwed up. And Chrouya finishes off Hammerstalking, getting his second crystal.
And there's the Ice Palace big key. Nice and convenient, so we can just immediately check it.
That's definitely nice, and there we have our first item in Ice Palace. Just a heart. Can I actually point out that we are at 17 hearts on Fouton's side?
Well, that's really nice.
It really feels very usual to get a lot of hearts during an Overworld Legacy just because all the stuff that's in logic, you have no idea where to go. And so you naturally just go to a lot of places that are not the right places. And yes, the second item, a mushroom.
Which almost has to be progression. We have otherwise just a blacksmith sequence left, I think.
The blacksmith sequence and the third item over here in Ice Palace.
And while we're here, let's just give a quick shout out to these runners. They are running on their own time for our entertainment. So please, if you can, please give them a follow if you haven't done so already, and show them all the support. And there's our quick medallion. That is our Mire entrance.
So once we are out of Ice Palace, we are going to visit Mire, hoping to find the flippers for Swamp Palace. And then we'll be able to finish the game.
So, we have 2 items in Misery Mire and we have the blacksmith sequence. And that was all the items we can get now. So, we have 4 item locations for 1 item we need. Where do you think will it be? Inside of Misery Mire or through the blacksmith sequence.
I personally just hope we have it on the mushroom at this point. We just got it. Let's not check it. Let's check it as the last possible thing, and have it be the mushroom.
Well, yeah, true. 5 item locations. And Chrouya will be picking up his ice rod.
And he will instantly go back into Turtle Rock, go in and beat it now that he has the means to do so. And Fouton actually instantly turns in the mushroom. Good play. If it's here, you don't have to clear that much out otherwise.
If this is flippers, why would the witch need flippers to swim in her kettle? Oh, it's tempered! Also really nice and useful.
It's not flippers, so it's not really required, but the damage difference between Master Sword and Tempered Sword is really big. And talking about swords, where was the Master Sword? Chrouya didn't found it by now.
Well, we have one sword at Plumper Ledge and one sword at Mushroom.
And chat saying Trinex?
I do remember that Fouton did hammer strats on Trinex.
Chrouya, meanwhile, just going wild with magic. He has half magic, he doesn't really need to care.
And that is the first item out of Mire.
And chat was correct. Chat, thanks. What would we do without you?
And unless the logic for Misery Mire key logic has been changed, I think with a key being in that top chest here, that means that the big key of Misery Mire will be in the big key chest.
That is still correct, and as long as I don't remove any doors, they will stay correct.
we still have one more item within Misery Mire, so Fouton will keep looking for that. 4 more locations, 1 more item, from what I remember.
Yes, that is correct from what I can think of right now.
And there they are, the flippers. We are officially now in go mode.
Fouton now wants to look out for sets, following an Ender Fairy to get another fairy. And he would even have another fairy in his inventory.
What is Chrouya doing?
I think he's going to check the Bombers tablet over here. Chrouya, please try to run bump below.
And he gets it. And a very, very quick Vitreous kill for Fouton here.
Meanwhile, Chrouya is going back into Ganon's tower. Will head up the entire tower to get his Titan Smiths from the Molten 2 chest. And then will be right on track for his go mode.
And Fouton is about to enter his very last dungeon. He needs to do the seed. And Chrouya getting 2 of the land molars down real quick and getting a 2 cycle eventually. Nice, nice.
Forgetting that he needs a key, and therefore getting bullied by those little water spider things. Trying to continue the August kill on Fouton's side. It's a really precise window you need to hit. So, not bad that he missed it the second time.
And Fouton is just now ready to slay the pig.
Yes, we are now only having a Master Sword Silver, not Master Sword, Temperate Sword Silver's Ganon. And Ganon is right up to the north from here, already waiting in his pit.
Tempered Sword, Silver's Cannon, that's quite the quick kill on him. Not too bad.
Oh, standing in this corner over here, right at the start of phase 2. This is going to be a very, very quick phase 2. And I think he's already through.
Yeah, that's phase 3. Now please don't fall off.
And please don't die. That's also a thing that could happen. I think he has a fairy, but please still be careful.
I'm entering phase 4. 4 silver arrows to the face and that.
Getting that torch glitch. I didn't even see the lamp out.
Me neither. And the pig has been slain. So put your GGs in chat for Fouton. Let's just hope the biggest enemy of them all, the bridge, doesn't troll him. and he gets through, and he finishes with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 5 minutes and 50 seconds. GG to Fouton, and let's see if he wants to join us for an interview. Hello and GG, Fouton.
GG's. Making sure you isn't here, but still.
So, what a seed.
Oh, that was interesting. I really wish I went to Turtle Rock sooner. That would have been helpful.
Yeah, those gloves really were handy.
Yeah, it seemed everything was just revolving around that sector. The gloves, with not too important, but it led to the mitts as well. The hook shot, ice rod, it was all right there. Could have gotten that up pretty early.
Yeah, most seeds are like that. Most seeds you just need to do the really right play, and they would be quite easy to do quickly. But unfortunately, it doesn't always work out like that.
Yeah. There was several times I was like, Turtle Rock is looking good. I have the Cane Samaria, so I probably should go there. But then there's a couple other things I felt like doing, maybe weren't the best choices, or they just they have fun glitches to do them. So I was like, why not? Like clipping down the mire through Death Mountain, I was just like, it's fun. I could do that, and there's useful stuff that way. Might as well check mire shit.
Yeah, sure. Gave me a lot of stuff to talk about while you glitching around, doing all the things that I said you would do, or doing the things that I didn't said you would do. I think in the post-race chat you talked with Chrouya what he forgot, and you know why he was so far behind?
We didn't talk too much, so I don't know what tripped him up, but I noticed after I finished and tuned into the stream, everything muted, he was just on his way to get mids, so I'm guessing he didn't get the bow for a while.
It was actually the Moon Pearl that tripped him up for quite a long time.
I could see that, because the way I got over there, well, I guess you could have gotten over there normally. Yeah, it's a bit surprising that tripped him up, but I guess he wasn't comfortable going over there without spin speed or something. Yeah, the early game without a sword, without spin speed or anything like that was interesting to route, because a lot of it just felt weird, because I don't remember how to do the spinless Death Mountain descent without mirrors, so I was just sitting there like, I don't want to try to use this Moon Pearl yet, because I don't remember what I'm doing, and I don't want to soft lock, so I'm going to waste my time doing other things until I find something useful like that sword. Well, I guess the mirror that brought me to the sword.
Yeah, the sword was the first sword was unluckily placed directly on Ledge, so no real way to get that without first getting off the mountain.
Yeah.
So yeah, this seed was really something. And me not being an Overworld glitches person, I don't know much about it and anything. It was crazy to see that gloves were not required for so long.
Yeah, a lot of the Overworld glitches kind of go that way, and it's a lot of fun. I I like trying to put off the gloves for as long as possible. There's other cool items you can end up skipping, but you never really get the opportunity to. Like Moon Pearl is, you can technically skip it, but not within logic most of the time. So it would be fun to get one where you could skip it, but it just never really comes up. The gloves ones it's kind of common, and it's a lot of fun to just be like, oh, I don't have gloves, but the only thing that matters for is like Ice Palace or Checkerboard Cape or something like that, which I forgot to check.
Yeah, Checkerboard Cave was just an arrow capacity upgrade, so you didn't miss out on anything there. Chrouya, meanwhile, just found his Cracked Medallion. This will lead him to Misery Mire, where he will be able to find his strippers and then be able to go on, beat Swamp Health and beat the pig.
One thing to note as well was that Chrouya got to race game earlier than you, Fouton, but he had troubles clipping and he eventually got it, but you got there and bam, boom, you got the book and you were out again. And I was all shocked that it went so fast. While Chrouya took, I think, definitely something like a minute to get it.
Yeah, there was a conversation before the race in one of the Overworld Glitches channels that we're going over it, so I had been practicing it a bit because I was like, because some people are like, oh, I'm not doing it right, they're getting stuck, and I was just like, how is that possible? I don't have that trouble. So I was practicing it a bit before the race as well, so it was kind of just fresh in my mind how to do that one.
Yeah, the getting stuck, I was one of the people that tried it as well in a race earlier on and got stuck as well, so it's quite easy to get stuck there if you do wrong things.
It's one of the ones where you're like, because most glitches when you get like in a wall or something like that, you kind of hit the opposite directions to pop you out, whereas in that, strangely in that case, popping out like that actually gets you stuck really quickly, so it's really counterintuitive the way you do that one.
So, what was weird or interesting about the C2U?
This is one of the first times I've actually needed mitts, because usually I kind of just go into Ice Palace, either in Go mode or something, and just beat it, and I'm done, and I could use the mirror wrap. But in this one, you actually needed the gloves. Well, you didn't need them, but you kind of wanted to get the gloves, because you don't want to go into Ice Palace unless you absolutely have to, because in Overworld glitches it's almost never required, like you just go mode it. So this is the first one I actually went out of my way looking for what turned out to be the mitts, so that I could go into Ice Palace normally. That was a bit interesting.
Yeah, having the mitts before going into Ice Palace for an item is definitely a thing you want. You can do the gamble on getting it. Also, cover your eyes for Chrouya screen.
Also, one thing to talk about is you tried to do the blacksmith sequence, I think, but you got mirror bonked, I think.
Yeah, that one I taught myself that while I was using the practice hack, so I didn't have a different sprite, so I used Link's ears as the cue that I needed, and I didn't think about it until I was trying it that I was Luigi and I couldn't really line that up anymore, so I gave it a couple tries and I was just like, nah, this isn't worth my time.
I think someone in chat pointed out that you were a bit low on that one actually, so maybe that will help you the next time you try it.
Yeah, I'll definitely learn the shadow cues next time, since in Randomizer, if you change your sprite, that's the only thing that really remains.
Yeah, it's also possible to just swap the sprite in the practice hack, but while trying to do that for myself, it took me quite some time before I got it set up.
Yeah, I have a good method of swapping it in, but I don't know if it works on the Practice Act, the thing that I use, because I think it specifically only loads randomizer ROMs. So I have a program from the Sprite Dev stuff that you can use. I guess it's a website. But it sometimes, or I assume it wouldn't work on the Practice Act, but there's a chance it could. I guess I should try that.
Yeah, if it doesn't work, just ask me. I will send you the program I used for it.
Perfect. I'm actually surprised. This is one of the few races I see where people are using not the standard sprite, and yet they are using the same sprite.
Yeah, we were asking ourselves if you were actually talking about it, that you will be using the same sprite, but I guess you didn't.
Yeah, I just usually go with Luigi. I'm guessing Chrouya also does.
So Chrouya is just now opening up the wall to get into the to get to the big key of Meyer.
He will still need to open the map chest to get his flippers, but he's on the right way, I would say.
And that is the last chest of Meyer, where the flippers are for Chrouya.
Yeah, that just made Chrouya being Gomez, so he now only needs to beat the Swarm Palace and the Wizard Maya, and then he can go over to the pyramid, beat the pig, and do the usual stuff. The thing to note is he didn't turn in the mushroom, so he just has the Master Sword.
He never got the mushroom. It was in Ice Palace big chest, I think. So, Fouton, any last things you want to say about the seed or something?
No, it was pretty fun overall. Got to do a lot of different things, so I quite enjoyed that.
So I'll wish you the best for the coming game and the coming rest of the tournament. And I don't know if you want to stay and wait till Chrouya gets here as well, or if you have somewhere to go if you want to do something else.
Oh, I'll probably head out. Thanks for having me, guys, and great interview, I guess, and I assume comments. Can't wait to watch it over.
Thanks
Yeah.
for running,
Thanks
and
for
have a
running.
good one.
So Chrouya just beat the Swamp Palace. He will, I guess, just have a few bit fun with some clipping over here. He will not mirror, he will just go over to Swamp Palace using some clips.
So we are in the last dungeon for this seed for Chrouya.
And he's opening chest, still looking for the temperate sword. Gets a cave though. Cave is still nice.
And we find the big key.
Not deciding to fight with the stairs to check that one. You usually lose the fight anyway.
Misses the first and second arrow and Ooh.
Yeah, the hitbox from Argos is very hard to hit with arrows. Doesn't help that he's moving so fast.
Yeah. Gotta get lucky.
Going to use some spins instead, 4 spins, and he's done.
And that is the last crystal that Chrouya needs. Now all that remains is to slay the pig. Not having finished off Ego 1, or not having done any of Ego 1 makes this just a tad bit longer, but nah, what matters.
Swamp is at least close to this location. If you would have to come from Turtle Rock here, you would probably just save a quit to Link's house.
Getting some nice spins in there.
He should now have his 12, waiting for the phase 2 to start. And he should be through. He now just needs to survive through spreads.
And one hit every time he is vulnerable to make him jump up. I'm just realizing he jumps up because he's angry at you for hitting him.
Yeah, and therefore he makes a floor defy physics, and it will not. The floor is now not attached to the wall anymore.
Insert obvious asked question, but how does it stay here then?
That's a good question. Some much more intelligent person can answer.
And put your GGs in chat for Chrouya, who is about to walk through that door, I guess. I don't think he'll fall. And there it is. And he will have finished with an official SRL time of... let's see. Don't have to up yet. 2 hours, 30 minutes and 14 seconds. let's see if they'll come in for an interview. So, what a crazy seed this was.
Yeah, we had mids in the Modem 2 chest as our last place for possible progression.
Progression was locked behind so many different things.
And also at the end, we just had a little progression chain. We had the, like we said, the mids at the end of the gauntlet. We had the Quake medallion in Ice Palace. And we then got the flippers for Swamp Palace in Misery Mire.
And we are joined by Chrouya. Hello and Gigi.
Hey there, GG. It's actually a PB for Overworld glitches because I haven't really done that many. I should have done a D-Rust before doing this one, to be honest.
Yeah, well, this seed certainly wasn't nice, so you PBing on this one, that's sure means a lot.
Well, basically, I wrote it in IRC, but I played some seeds last week, 2 of them which had early hookshot. So when I got to Death Mountain and I looked at Hera and stuff, I completely forgot that you could actually just go right to East Death Mountain, which probably would have shaved off quite a few minutes.
Yeah, that was definitely the main thing that caught you off. Of course, a few clips that took a few additional minutes than it should have, but otherwise it was quite fast seed still for this seed.
Yeah, I think the progression-wise, it was quite fair, as long as you just dipped in a few dungeons, like getting the hammer and Thieves Stone. Yeah, I wasn't really aware how people did the water walking, and I was really keen on learning it. So I was like, I don't even know why I'm doing this, but I'll do it anyway. Who knows? It might be a logic. I don't remember, but I did it anyway after a couple of tries, and right, and walking to walking to the end of Skullwoods with no sword was an oops.
Yeah, regarding the waterwalk, it's actually not in logic unless you have Moon Pearl, then the double waterwalk is in logic.
Okay. Yeah, after I did the stupid thing at Hobo, I was like, oh right, people did do like other tricks to get to the Hobo, and it's just something that came to me later on. It's the heat of the moment. I was trying to do it my way, which is not the right way. Oh well. Aside from that, I don't know. I felt pretty good about the seed. Maybe dipping into maybe I dipped a little too early into Ganon's Tower. I died to the fire bars because I'm not familiar. I've been so rusty that I just walked into the fire way too many times and died.
Yeah, Ganon's Tower is definitely not something that is very easy to do, so dying there isn't shameful. It's completely understandable.
Yeah, and I saw that Fouton actually had the tempered sword. Was that a little deeper into water or a swamp or?
No, the tempered sword was at the witchy hut with the mushroom in Ice Palace.
Right. I took the mushroom, but I never went up to do catfish and the mushroom. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fouton did go over there after Ice Palace, probably hoping for the flippers to not having to do a full clear of Misery Mire. But got the temperate instead. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, but like the last few dungeons, it's just item in dungeon that leads to the next dungeon. So that was pretty nice. I was kind of hoping that I would get the flippers from somewhere so I could just do the mirror clip. I was not looking for the mitts, but when I found them at Ganon's Tower, I was like, well, I know where to go next. This is now definitely illogic.
Yeah, if one of you guys would have done the mirror clip much earlier into Ice Palace, this would have definitely given quite the advantage.
Yeah, I think for the rest, the seed was pretty fine. It's just that maybe the beginning was hard because they just give you pieces of hearts everywhere and just level 1 sword in the Dark World for a lot of fights. And that's about it.
Yeah, I've had lately a lot of seeds, kind of like that, with either no progression or so much progression that there's no health left to give you. It's kind of weird, actually.
Yeah, it was so much money too. So I think we got up to, or I went up to Zora with already 800 rupees or so in hand, or 1,000. It's just, I don't know. But I guess that's more the nature of Overworld glitches. Maybe we'll see that more in the future seeds.
Yeah, we sure will. And both of you having the same collection rate, well, there wasn't really anything you could have skipped. I think Fouton skipped Checkerboard Case while you skipped Woodcheck, so that equates out.
And I also grabbed a few chests in Swamp. I don't know if you did that too. The Swamp would have been the last, but he already had Tempered probably at that point, so yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he didn't. So probably a few more chests here and there he was able to get. So anyway, any last words from you?
Well, I hope I'm de-rusted for the next match and it'll probably be a little closer. I hope it'll be a good watch. Tomorrow, same time, so...
Yeah, tomorrow, same time. If you want to follow those two runners, we will get those links into the chat quickly. There we go. And if you want to watch some random right now, there is another match of the OWG tournament going on over on Speed Gaming 5. Also, no, that's not today. We will have the open mode daily race in a few hours over on Speed Gaming 5 as well. And otherwise, we should have Mega Man X over on Speed Gaming 2. Should be starting right about now. So there is quite a lot of races. Just go over and check them out. But with that, we are going to wrap this up. Wishing you a good rest of your day, a good night if you're in Europe. So, bye.
See ya.